Hi there and welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Ivy Hartman, and joining me now in the studio is a very special guest, John Cameron. He's the program coordinator for TrailNet. Now, just a little tidbit in case you didn't know, before we get into talking to you, John, about TrailNet. If everyone in the United States increased their cycling from 1% to 1.5%, we would actually save 462 million gallons of gas each year. Amazing.
That's a lot of gas.
It is, isn't it?
A lot of gas.
A lot of fossil fuels we could cut right out of the processing and everything else and save a lot of money in the process.
I think the price would come down. I do believe it would.
So having said that, if we've enticed you a little bit, John, tell us a little bit more about TrailNet and what you guys do.
Well, TrailNet is a 23-year-old organization here in St. Louis, and we serve the bi-state region. And basically, we work on bike advocacy. And if people don't know, the first 6 miles of Grants Trail, we actually built that, and that's why the organization was formed, along with just trying to make St. Louis and the surrounding communities a more bikeable place. And so we work, of course, in communities all over the metro area, and we attempt to make their communities more bikeable and more walkable.
How do people access TrailNet? I mean, you guys sponsor a lot of fun events around the bi-state area, so how do I find out about those?
TrailNet is easily found at trailnet.org. We have a Facebook page, we're on Twitter, we've got all the social media down, and any bike store, if you walk in there, our calendar would be available, and all that information is once again on that calendar. All
right, in addition to bicycling, what other avenues and are facets of TrailNet? There's the travel green, and then there's
Indeed.
Okay.
Well, I mean, TrailNet has divisions. I work for the Bicycle Fun Club, which is the program division of TrailNet, and we do most of the events and the bike rides. We also have a group called Travel Green, and that's basically education on how people can take cycling and walking and make it part of their daily life and routine, and make it so that it's natural and something they do every day. We have another group that works on advocacy. We have a Earn a Two Bikes program. We have a gentleman that goes out into communities, and basically it's a wonderful program. He gets a kid to come in, learn how to build a bike, learn bike safety, and then on the bike safety portion, he brings his friend in, and they both get a bicycle, and they get to ride out the door with it. So that is a wonderful program.
That's a lot of fun.
It is. And of course, we just got published recently. We've got a gentleman who works on advocacy on the higher level. And so, and we actually have a bike walk planner that works with municipalities to make their communities more bikeable, walkable. We've worked with Chesterfield, we've worked with the city of Darien Prairie, other places to help them make their town a little more bikeable and walkable.
You mentioned earlier about commuting. If you're going to use a bicycle for commuting, it definitely becomes a way of life. Just a little tidbit for you. 25% of all trips are made within a mile of home. You know the grocery store? Yeah, usually less than a mile, a little over a mile from your house. 40% of all trips are made within 2 miles of home, and 50% of the working population commutes 5 miles or less to work. That's a bikeable amount of mileage, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, my commute's 8 miles, and it's not really an imposition. 5 miles, you got to figure, it's an adjustment. You have to think about it. It's, approximately about 3 minutes and 30 seconds a mile if you're biking pretty much unencumbered. So, you've got to factor that in, and there's a lot to it. You have to, think about when I get to work, how do I get clean, how do I do these things, and that information's available. And you can call me, you can call anybody you want at TrailNet, and they're more than happy to help you talk you through that.
Awesome.
And so, commuting is doable. You just have to really set your mind to it.
And it's more than that. They sponsor all kinds of fun events. So if you just want to kind of ease your way into it and do some family-friendly events with TrailNet, you can do that. They also encourage you to become a member of TrailNet. And you can find out more about becoming a member and more about their events at trailnet.org or by calling 416-9930. Now, they've got a big event called the Belle Bottom Bike Ride, right?
Yes, the Belle Bottom Bicycle Ride.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there because I know we've already wet your whistle for that, and we're going to have more about the Belle Bottom Bicycle Ride coming up right after this. In addition to finding out more about that, remember to keep up with STL TV by friending us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a fabulous way to watch us. If you're not watching us on YouTube, watch us streaming live on STLTV.net. We'll be right back. We are back with STL TV Live. I'm Ivy Hartman. We've been talking with John Cameron, who's a program coordinator for TrailNet, about their organization as well as their upcoming Belle Bottom Bike Ride. Now, you probably already knew this, but did you know that the average American, in the first year you start commuting on your bicycle, can lose up to 13 pounds?
It is true.
Really?
It is true.
We were talking about commuting before the break, but we also want to talk about, make sure that we highlight the Belle Bottom Bicycle Ride, which is coming up this weekend. John, tell us more about that.
The Belle Bottom Bicycle Ride is a whimsical name, but
yeah, it's fun.
But the ride is for experienced cyclists, and it basically leaves out of the Veterans Memorial Park up off of Redmond Road, and it continues on up and around and really encompasses the northern tier of our county. So we've got the City of Blackjacks on board with us, helping us out, the City of Florissant, the Missouri Department of Conservation, and the ride is sponsored by the Great Rivers Greenway District and the Confluence Partnership. But the ride basically travels up and basically sees some of the best places up in North County. And then there are 3 routes. There's a short route, a middle route, and a long route.
Okay. And
those routes turn around. The long route goes all the way out to Sunset Park out in Florissant. And we do recommend experienced cyclists for that long route, but they all meet back together and they all come back to the parking lot at Veterans Memorial Park.
And as you just saw on our screen, that is taking place July 17th. That's this weekend. So good news now is you haven't missed registration because you register on site from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. in the morning, and you can register to do that. That's an exciting ride. But TrailNet does a lot more than just these big rides for experienced cyclists.
Well, we do, because everybody has to start somewhere. And the family rides, and of course, we get those because we believe the next generation, we have to address them, obviously. And so with these family rides are really a good opportunity for someone who, they haven't had time to really become a serious cyclist, but however, they want to still get their kids out on a bike, they want to do this. So on the 16th, on Saturday, I'll be holding a ride there at Kirkwood Farmers Market that's a little shorter, the streets are a little quieter, things are a little more, and we'll probably have a couple folks watching out for folks. And it actually takes you down to Grants Trail, and of course everybody knows Grants Trail.
Yeah.
And you can make that ride about as long as you want to. 20 miles is extremely possible, but so is 2, so is 7, so is 8. You can really adjust that, and the beauty of that ride is you come back and we're going to watch your bike while you go to the farmer's market and shop.
Perfect.
So.
And that's a great point for no matter what community you live in, if you can bicycle or take that 1 or 2 mile commute, even if it's not to work, to the grocery store, to the local farmer's market, to the video store, whatever it is, and make it on your bike. And John brought with him, I said, how do you get your groceries home on your bike if you're not towing something behind you? Well, he brought his bag with him.
This is a wonderful bag. This is the Ortlieb back roller, and it is a waterproof bag. It holds about 1,350 cubic inches in it. And it basically today has a couple frozen water bottles because of the heat, and it's also got my helmet and a change of clothes because I'm going to be riding out of here this afternoon.
That's right. Riding out of here, our studios in Forest Park, to South County. So this is a gentleman who does not take it lightly. We want to encourage you to join TrailNet. You can become a member, or also just come along for meet up with some of their other events going on around St. Louis area. And if you want to know when those things are, you can go to trailnet.org or call them at 416-9930. John also mentioned earlier in our first segment that you can go to pretty much any bicycle shop around the St. Louis area and they'll have a calendar of events. There are over 40 events happening with TrailNet this summer and throughout the spring, summer, and fall. We want to make sure that you guys are aware of all of those. And then so this weekend is the Belle Bottom Bicycle Ride on Sunday the 17th, and registration starts at 7:30 a.m. And then you meet at Veterans Memorial Park up on Redmond Road, and there are 3 different courses, so definitely take advantage of that. And that is for experienced cyclists, but if you're looking for more information, trailnet.org. Well, in addition to visiting trailnet.org and John being here to inform us, if you want to keep up with other great things going on around the city of St. Louis, remember to follow us on Twitter. You can friend us on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can always watch us because we stream live all of our programming on stltv.net, our website. Well, coming up next, we're going to actually say goodbye to John. He's going to bike on out of here, but we're going to welcome Catherine Nahorsky of the Jacoby Arts Center. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.